From the front lines, from the tailgates, representing KGYR and its stakeholders, we are the Forum for the Fans, the Bleed Blue Show. Now, here are your hosts, Steve and Chris.
We are the Forum for the Fans, the Bleed Blue Show, Yankees podcast, the Dugout, live looking versus the Texas Rangers, Bleed Blue Show. BleedBlueShow.com, Twitter, Instagram, Google Plus at the Bleed Blue Show. Get the audio archives of the Bleed Blue Show on iTunes, Podcast Republic, TuneIn, your Stitcher apps. Right now, the Yankees in session versus the Rangers actually just got the lead back on top of the Rangers. To get in the flow of this new series, coming off the series versus the Rockies and the Twins, get the thoughts of what the stakeholders here on this platform. If you're out there, please let me know. Say what up. How you doing, sir? I think that's a little disconnection right there. Don't know what's going on with that. Okay. Well, anyway, let me get back to the series. Chris, are you there?
Yeah,
there
I'm
you
here.
go.
Can you
there
hear
you
me? Woo.
Loud and clear.
A little concerned.
Loud and clear.
Yeah. I had a family graduation weekend this weekend, and I just came back. I left New York City at 3:30, and I had to go through the Bronx to get back home. And let me tell you, the traffic for Yankee Stadium was unusually. Normally it's tight as it's bumper to bumper, but this time it was at a standstill. So people are at the stadium having a good time. I know they are, even though the weather doesn't look that promising. So, but I'm excited to be here back again, man. Sitting in the seat with you, Steve, and going over Pinstripe News, bro. Let's see where it takes us. Nice live look.
All right. Before we get into that news, audio archives of last week's episode, the Fool's Gold episode, a little AL East dialogue. Got the Red Sox fans with us, and then also the Yankees talking Yankees baseball. And also, if you're a New York Rangers hockey fan, discuss the rink. The podcast is also on BleedBlueShow.com, discussing all-season talk for our New York Rangers, and we're going to get into some more Rangers talk on Tuesday. Be on the lookout for that. And, of course, the NBA with the Knicks, the news that came down the pipe with Derrick Rose coming to the Knicks in exchange for Robin Lopez, Jerry and Grant, and Jose Calderon, and his $7.7 million. You got to add that in there. You'll discuss this trade.
I'm surprised you didn't say that first to get it jettisoned.
The Knickerbocker Ave Fan Forum will resume on Wednesday, matter of fact. We're going to be discussing free agency on Wednesday, so be on the lookout if you want to talk Knicks basketball, NBA basketball, free agency. That's the episode to do it here on the Bleed Blue Show on Wednesday night, 9 o'clock. And then, of course, Thursday, the New York Football Giants Roundtable, last episode discussing I don't know how we got through that episode discussing the linebackers without puking, but we discussed the linebackers. This week is my turn to pick it. I haven't really decided yet. Oh, actually, I did. I think we're going to go tight ends. We're going to discuss the tight ends on Thursday for the Giants. So why not?
Okay.
Why not?
Why not?
But Yankees baseball, sir. Yankees baseball. Chris, I'm disappointed, sir. And then, by the way, we have New York Yankees talk from the stadium in a few. But anyway, I wanted to say
they won the series.
That
Pineda looked
not enough
decent.
Not enough for me.
I know, but I'm looking at. I'm nitpicking. Pineda seemed to have looked pretty decent on Saturday. Looked like it was okay. It was a tight game. He hasn't. He's keeping that ERA down. I mean, he had. He gave up 2 runs. I'm laughing because I can almost see your face through the cell, man. You just are not feeling it. But dude, they won the series. They won the series. It is what it is. These were twins, man. And I know you're probably feeling this thing from yesterday.
That was bad. That was bad.
They didn't give my man no runs. So, but you know what? No, really, Evaldi really.
He sucked. He sucked yesterday.
He's been falling apart lately. This isn't just yesterday. This has been happening.
Correct.
Yeah, this has been happening a couple of outings now. He hasn't looked himself. Well, and I'm still trying to figure who that is. I don't know if he's the ace or what. He doesn't. Last month he was in complete command. This month, I don't know what he's thinking. But
so here's the question: we're not going to get nothing out of Evaldi unless we give him run support. I mean, the logic is, of course, all pitchers want run support, but he's nothing. Are we going to come to that final conclusion with Nathan Evaldi that he's not going to give us nothing unless we give him runs? We have to give him at least 5-6 runs for him to be effective, Chris?
Well, let me tell you, he gave up. What did he give up? Let me see the box score. He gave up. There were 7 runs that he gave that we lost by 6 runs. I'm sorry, that we lost by yesterday. Okay, and we can't. We're not the kind of team that's going to go out there and score 8 runs all the time. I think we are capable of that at full strength, but let's be realistic. If you're a Yankee fan, look, Evaldi. I don't know what's up with his control. He's given up 17 home runs, I'm reading. 17 home runs. Okay? 10 of them in this month alone. When you would think an ace would start to pour it on and turn it on. So we can't really be look, we've been trying, and this is for all stakeholders. We've been thinking about the fact that, okay, we have to unilaterally, unofficially call him our ace. We have to look at him as the ace. And we said this as recently as middle of last month because he was the one that was connecting with halfway decent control, getting his 7 innings in. And we were towing the line for him. We were giving him a lot of run support. But now, without that run support, he looks like an ordinary pitcher. He's in a lot of bad counts. He's in a lot of bad counts, Steve. He's 0-2 a lot. His stuff, certain pitches. He hasn't. His zone is missing, dude. His zone is missing.
Yeah, exactly. His zone is definitely missing.
And I don't know where it's from, man. I mean, he gave up. Look, his splitter was used to be magic as recently as freaking 4 weeks ago. And who was it? Kepler that I saw on replay? Goodness, must have been Kepler. Either him or Dozier. One of those 2 guys smacked it into
Dozier took him deep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't know if that was a splitter. It looked like it was a curve. So I could be wrong a little bit.
But it was all about the location on those pitches. Chris, his location is off.
And it wasn't there. You're right.
Good stuff. His location's been off, man.
Well, why is he magic in the first 3 or 4 innings and then he falls apart, which is a Yankee trait?
It's almost like the story doesn't really end with not just him. It's other Yankees that get in these jams in that middle inning, 5th or 6th innings where it falls apart.
Right.
I mean, I'm not all too upset or disappointed that he gave up runs, but Chris, he gave up back-to-back home runs, man. How can you really sit through a Yankees game and you got through the first couple of innings, no problem. You gave up the run in the 3rd, no problem. It is what it is. He was doing okay. Mentally, he doesn't have it in the last 4 starts. He doesn't have it.
I would say 4
mentally.
starts. I would say 4 starts.
Let's rank it like this. Let's start with the starting pitchers.
Okay.
Besides capability and stuff and arsenal of pitches, let's talk about strictly 100% mentally. If we had to rank the starters, who's the best mental starter right now? Could we arguably say it's CeCe or Tanaka?
Yes,
1,
we can.
2?
I don't think it's arguably. I think he is.
Okay. So how else would you want to rank them? Okay. So who's 1? Who's 2? Who's 3? Who's 4? Who's 5? Because that's what right now. That's what I have an issue with the staff, the starting staff. Is we know they have ability. They have good stuff, above average stuff. But it's the mental stuff that can't get them through. Starting pitching. When they get in the jams, they just crumble.
Okay, I would say, but that's an interesting question anyway, Steve, because they're doing this collectively. Evaldi is now falling victim to the same trait that Nova had a year ago, that Pineda's gone through recently, that CC had a year ago. There's somebody. Oh, and Tanaka, who I'm still scratching my head. I'm not really sure what Tanaka is sometimes. Sometimes he's the most dominating pitcher in baseball for 6 innings against someone. Then we're optimistic for his next start. Then five games later, he'll come out and he'll look like total doo-doo. And it doesn't matter who the opponent is. This is a Yankee trait with every one of our pitchers. And I don't know why. I have no answer for that. And they can't all have the same ailment. Nova too. In case I didn't mention him.
Speaking of Nova, he just gave up another run. Right now, the Yankees and Rangers are tied at 2-2. But anyway, go ahead, continue, sir. It was a live looking episode.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. We just don't. There's no I don't want to simplistically say, Steve, there's no consistency. We know that. We already got that part. My question is, why do they have the same inconsistency? You know what I mean? They all have the same trait. They're never healthy very long. They overpower you for 2 starts. Well, with the exception of Evaldi. No, well, I got to add CC to this mix too. CC's looked so far. Where's the wood? Very surprisingly great to me.
How long is that going to keep up, though? How long is that going to keep up? I asked you guys. I think that a couple episodes ago, I asked you how long is this going to last? Is it contagious in that clubhouse, Chris? You think these guys are going to? They talk to each other. I'm pretty sure they're trying to cheer each other up. Do you think CC is going to get this plague of inconsistency mentally by these other starting pitchers? I mean, if we're saying CC Sabathia is probably the most mentally strong starting pitcher we have, and that's even before even Tanaka, is that really not a good thing, is it? It can't be.
Not only is it not a good thing, but I would really like to see what the daily schedule of Larry Rothschild is. I want to know what he does. I would like to know how he goes about his business of preparation.
He ain't gonna have a job after this season.
Counts. I want to know what he preaches. What kind of in terms of what kind of power. What kind of what's the word I'm trying to find? The little nuances of each one of our. We have 5 starting pitchers and a couple of spot starters, and we lost a couple down to the minors, Severino and the other guy. So I want to know what he's doing and what, as a manager, there's something else here. For them to all have the very same trait, Steve, this very same trait. They all do the same things. Take another look, and I'm going blanket over the last 3 seasons. If you take a real close look, you will see that Evaldi, Nova, Pineda, CC, Severino, and Tanaka, and I know I'm missing somebody, all have the same nuances. They all have potentially great stuff, but it's never consistent over a 2-month span. They also have situations where their best 3 pitches all fail them at the same time and before they take off for about 4 starts and then regain their momentum again. Case in point, Evaldi will probably be back at this rate at the end of next month, probably the end of July, just in time for the pennant race. Okay. Which means CC's due to fall off, probably in 2 or 3 more starts. They keep doing the same thing. At one point, we thought Nova was going to be the savior. I'm looking over the last 3 seasons here when I say that blanketly. At one point, Tanaka was supposed to be the de facto starter. We had high hopes for Pineda. We thought Severino was probably Rookie of the Year material as recently as maybe a year ago this time. About that period, came in. He's 6'2", he's 215. He looks overpowering. He's a young boy. He has a lot of potential. Didn't happen. We thought Shreve at one point was going to be a guy that could do a lot of spot starting for us and look fantastic the entire time. Didn't work. And we just can't look. Yes, you can depend on your overpowering bullpen, but they don't start.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, hold on real quick. Let me say this. Let's see. Gardner just got out. Well, first of all, shout outs to Nova for getting out of the inning for only giving up 1 run. So right now it's still 2-2. Let's see. We'll see what Beltran does with it. Try to get that run back. I'm actually surprised of all the pitchers New York Yankees went to a game to see Nova pitch. That's really surprising to me. For that even to be in existence. But I'll ask him that question, like, why? I guess he secretly loves them. Shout out to New York Yankees talk. But I have more questions for you, sir. As a matter of fact, as well as this guy, bring on the infamous Knickerbocker, your source for the Street for our New York Knicks. Right now, live looking versus the Texas Rangers. What's going on, sir? How's everything? I thought the last 2 series versus the Rockies and the Twins was a fail. What's your thoughts, though, sir?
Well, first of all, good evening. And what is happening with the Bleed Blue Show when it comes to the dugout? I mean, last week we had a Red Sox fan here. This week we got Kenny D going to a Nevada Nova game. Something is something over?
Well, we're all equal opportunity platform, and you don't have to be a Yankees fan to be on the dugout.
I'm just saying. I know that. Sometimes we allow the Met fans. Sometimes we allow, but a Red Sox fan, really?
Well, I don't mind. I don't mind people who know they shit to come on. Rather have them than those who pretend and bandwagon.
You know what? I forgot his name already, but it was a pleasure to have him, have a Red Sox point of view, and actually have some fun with him, and he having fun with us. That's the kind of fan talk that I miss, that I appreciate, and I love. And it seems like I can only get it in 1 or 2 places: at the barbershop and right here on the Bleed Blue Show. So. Shout out. I'm sorry if I can't forget his name, Steve. You're going to help me with that one, but shout out to him real quick. And let's now the Yankees for the last week. I just read an article just a little while ago that Brian Cashman doesn't want to be considered a pretender. He wants to be considered a contender. And over the last few weeks, anytime I read anything that Cashman says, or I see, or I watch him say it, I don't believe him. I
know.
Really don't. There is nothing that this man could tell me that makes me want to go to Yankee Stadium, to go up to the Bronx, pay hard-earned money, and to go watch this team perform. Of course, it's because it's a tradition. You go there for the atmosphere.
Well, not to cut you off, Ev. I wanted to continue the story, but since you brought it up like that, I mean, you make it harder for the fans to go. Now you've got StubHub going to rate the fans for ticket prices, but that's another story. I don't know if you guys know that.
Yeah,
but we'll get to that. Yeah, go ahead. But to rate the last 2 series, let's just put it like this: to lose 3 out of 4 to the Rockies, and then and then that clubbing that we got from the Twins to close up the series with Minnesota. Yeah, it was bad, and it looks like, I mean, we cannot be just this 500 team and be the Yankees. It's almost like you want to go over there and rip the NY right off their freaking uniforms. It's that It's kind of that bad, and for me, this is a time where I'm really focusing on baseball. I'm kind of excited because football's coming up soon, and you're paying attention to the NBA, a little bit to the free agency, not so much, but a little bit. Because baseball is still supposed to keep your attention. But because the Yankees are having such a hard time playing a consistent game day in and day out, whether it's on the pitching side or on the hitting side, and occasionally it's a defense, but more or less it's mostly the pitching, you're kind of looking at it like as, well, why am I watching and why is Brian Cashman lying to me? Oh, I get it, because he wants to make sure that people still go to the ballpark and spend their money and go to tickets. Good luck with StubHub, ladies and gentlemen. Or if you really want to know, I know a guy, but I don't trust him either. But I digress. I don't know what to do with this team anymore. It's like my love and loyalty is being tested, and
the Yankees have been worse, back in the '80s and in Europe in the '90s.
Right.
But this time around, you're kind of looking at this team as like, all right, when is this team going to turn it around? Because it kind of gives you a little glimpse that it could possibly turn it around. It can possibly, start to make some headway in the division, and then they turn it and they just, I don't know, like shit on you, and it's really disheartening. It's hard to remain a Yankee fan. Well, actually, no, it's hard to watch them. Your fandom will never get challenged. It's just hard to sit there and watch them and stay up till 10, 11 o'clock at night when there's other things on or when there's a nice weather outside. You just almost don't even want to do it. You just rather go outside and, fire up the grill or something.
Well, right now, the Yankees got the lead back. Shout-outs to Castro. The big home run last week, Chris, walk-off fashion on the Rockies, and got the RBI single right now to get the lead back.
Yes,
we got any follow-up to what Knickerbocker Ave just said? And matter of fact, he actually touched on some points as far as bigger than the game, as far as resale of tickets. How big is this thing with StubHub, man? Or are we making too much big of a deal of it, Chris?
No, you're not making too much big of it. It's the same thing I bitch about on a constant basis. This is more corporate overreach, if I could use that word. They call it a multi-year sponsorship deal, which means there's something that they're going to announce in a press release that they're not going to tell us. Okay? Also, this goes into operation July 7th, okay, which is 10 days away, and the first ticket will be available on July 15th and then go through the rest of the schedule. It's $100 million, man. Okay. What's really happening is Major League Baseball had their own advanced media deal. By the Yankees doing this, they have originally the Yankees and the Angels on the ownership level. They opted out of the deal with advanced media. I think 4 years ago.
Double play by Didi.
Say again?
No, I said double play by Didi. We're out of that. And damn it.
Oh, good.
Go ahead.
Good.
Sorry, sir.
No.
Good. That's a bad thing.
I need to hear that.
Oh, okay. Holy shit.
But what they're doing is, the good thing they're telling you is all the tickets will be, mobilely available on iOS and Android and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is they are, and they're also telling you they got these new features that enhance the customer service experience and they better user efficiency and all of these wonderful barcodes and all of this stuff and all of that. But what they're really, really doing is they're milking just a few more dollars out of you to cover up any kind of what's the word I wanted to say? Financial inefficiencies. That's what's going on. So, look, if you're a Yankee fan and you're diehard, you love the experience at the stadium, which is unlike any other stadium, as you know, and you enjoy your team and you appreciate the aura and legacy of this team, you're going to pay for it anyway. There's nothing like going to Yankee Stadium. It's just like going to 30 Rock or Madison Square Garden or the Museum of Natural History or the Empire State Building. You're going to go anyway. So are we making too much a big thing of this? Yes. But is it right? No. But that's okay because we're going to do what we do. So that's the question to that. That's the answer to that, Steve.
Well, by looking at going to the games and looking at the stands, it doesn't look like they're packing out the place like they were in their, the run they were making the last decade and a half.
Right, because of what.
So how is this going to get more fans into the seats?
Well, it could.
StubHub's known for taxing the fans. Known for it.
Yes, they are, and they're going to continue to do that. But see, also, if you don't want any kind of a complaint at all, then Mr. Cashman has to get out of his seat and look very hard at what kind of roster he has, what kind of pitching we're going to employ coming into the pennant race, what we have available in the minor leagues, what do we have for free agent money, what available free agents, who can help us right now without destroying the chemistry, and also more or less they need to cater to us, the fan. He needs to be aware of that. And Knickerbocker Ave is right. This guy is being. Do you remember the movie Animal House back in the day?
Yeah. Yeah.
When they had this term double secret probation. You've been on double secret probation. That's what he's doing. He's telling us stuff that we're supposed to figure out, basically just off what he gives as a press release and a comment. And he's holding stuff back from double secret probation that we're not supposed to know while we get taxed to live in hell. That's what's going on. That's exactly what's going on.
But the fans, but they don't. The technology is not on their side, though. You have fans who will say, "Well, hell, if you're going to do this to me with a bad product on the field, aging bats, inconsistent starting pitching, and you're going to tax me for tickets to go to the game. Hell, I got the Yes Network. Hell, I got Major League Baseball. I could stream these joints. I could watch it anywhere. So screw you, Cashman.
Exactly.
Screw you, StubHub. Why would you like? I don't see the angle of that. I mean, I know it seems like more revenue for the team, but the fans themselves trying to get to the ballpark. I mean, you're going to get results like this with this type of product. I mean, if you really want that.
It's like he's saying, I got a brand new 1966 Ford Malibu right off the lot. It's only got 13 miles on it. It's still in mint condition from back in the days. But you know what? You're gonna have to fix the transmission. But it's still gonna. But I'm still gonna charge you Blue Book price. Well, wait a minute. You're not giving me the quality that I'm asking for. Then that means you got to come down a bit. Oh no, because it's this particular vehicle. So this particular vehicle is worth this particular amount, and we're not gonna move our negotiation stance on this at all. But it has a transmission problem and a bad one too. There's a third transmission we put in it already. So you're gonna have to fix it if you really want it because it's that vehicle. Well, see, that's what they're asking us to do. They're asking us to because this is the New York Yankees. 27 World Series titles, legendary players, retired numbers, the Garden, the enhancement of the rafters, not the Garden, the monument section, and all of this kind of stuff, and the lore and the fantasy of Yankee Stadium and the Steinbrenner connections and all of this other kind of stuff, and Mickey Mantle and Yogi Berra and la-di-da-di-da. They want you to have all of that. So what they're offering you doesn't look like that. You're not even playing A-Rod, and there's still people that want to see this guy,
Yeah.
You don't have a starting pitching situation that anyone's comfortable with. You got you don't have a consistent team, man. You got holes everywhere. You can't. We had 88 first basemen so far this season, man. It's just really a mess. And Knickerbocker Ave is right, man. The guy's lying to us. We got to call it out just like we see it. He is lying to us. If he wants to make this go away, he has to be very aggressive he has to be the most aggressive, actually. These are the Yankees, after all. And if you're going to go into a deal like this, you better hook up your team. You got to make us want you. Make us come out there. I'm looking at little clips right now of this past weekend series, and I see a lot of empty seats there, dude. And I'm talking about in the box and loge areas.
Especially versus a division leader in the Rangers.
See, that's the problem.
One of the top teams in the league.
That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
This time, think about it. This time during the 2009, 2010, 2011 time frame in that run, after winning the World Series, once the Yankee Stadium opened, that place around this time with that weather and that sunshine and those matchups, that place is about 80% to 90%, if not completely packed to the rafters.
Right.
And that's because, think about it. When you think about baseball, you think about a hot summer day, you think about sunshine, you think about a good pitching matchup.
Right.
That place was probably 30% full, maybe 40% full. And it started to look like, like the Yankees of the 80s, where Yankee Stadium was damn near a ghost town because, and Chris, you know exactly what I'm talking about. During the time, even when the team was somewhat competitive, they were still missing the playoffs. They couldn't even sniff the